Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow, The Darkest Timeline. Now, it has been a little while since I've continued the series. Normally what I would do is that I would play all my other characters before getting to Kerry, who was the main character of The Darkest Timeline, purely so I can determine all the different permutations that will lead us to the darkest outcome. Now, I haven't been able to do that this time for a number of reasons, though I have played through Chapter 3 enough times to sort of figure out how to aim for that darkest timeline. There are things that I predict will happen that will make it a lot darker than it initially seems, but we will see. And if not, we'll keep in character and play Kerry, how someone like her, who is sort of cowardly and self-interested, would play in this situation, or would act in this situation. Now, just a quick forewarning. Unfortunately, during my preparations for the recording of this new chapter of the series, I accidentally deleted my existing saves, purely through an error on my part while I was checking the stability of the save files. I have managed to basically, through a lot of effort, play back to the point where we were initially, so it's taken me a bit of time, about 6 or so hours, but we've managed to get there. It did allow me to see a lot of the new stuff that was added after we'd done the series, that had been added in with patches and the like from the developers, which is very impressive. They've put a lot of work in, and I do truly think that Black Tabby Games, the company behind Scarlet Hollow, is probably one of the best small indie development teams I've seen in a very long time. I am very much looking forward to their new game in development, which is Slay the Princess, which is hopefully going to come out in the near future. They have a demo up on Steam. I have done a small recording of it on my channel. Had some issues with the recording of the demo. It happens. I have had issues recording Scarlet Hollow in the past. It's one of the reasons you won't see my mouse on camera, due to the fact that for some reason, when we just get on still images, the frame rate drops dramatically and the mouse tends to stutter all over the place. So I have taken the mouse out of the recording. I'm still using the mouse on camera. I didn't like the fact that it sort of jumped all over the screen. It made the footage look a bit uncouth. So let us dive into Kerry's story, shall we? Here we go. Fortunately, I have made backup saves for both Kerry and Jason, so let's dive in, shall we? This is the end of episode 2. Episode 3 awaits. Proceed if you dare. Yes, well, on that note, I should also say episode 3 is a lot darker than the first 2 episodes of Scarlet Hollow, in my opinion. The 2 previous episodes did have quite uncomfortable elements in them, especially in episode 1 if you were to pick a certain outcome, but episode 3 is just much more both physically and mentally quite dark. So for those of you who want to sort of avoid things like that, this may be a point where you may want to stop watching, though. This is how it is. This is a horror game. This is a psychological horror game, with some and with graphic elements, and all around it is just a straight up horror game. But so let us dive right in. Now, normally I wouldn't do what they're going to ask us to do, a recap of episode 3 up to episode 3, because I've literally just played through the game nearly 6 hours straight with a couple of periods of sleep, to basically get back to this point, so I know what my character relatively did. For those of you, I think I will just quickly do it so you can see what's going on. The general plot of the story is that Kerry goes to Scarlet Hollow to pay her mother's sister, not a visit, because her aunt has passed away. Basically, she's visiting for the funeral, and well, things develop. Now, I'll let you read this at your own pace. You can pause it, but we're just basically flying through it, because as the game goes on, these recaps get longer and longer and longer. But Kerry starts to suspect that things aren't quite all they seem in the Hollow. There's noises in her family's old rundown mansion. There are animals with tumours all over their faces, or perhaps something darker, considering that there seems to be things living inside the tumours. There are monsters in the woods, as you can see here, about to basically get involved in the story. And, well, for some people it does not end particularly well. And Kerry, by this point of our tale, is a bit shaken. She doesn't believe in the supernatural. She doesn't believe in ghosts and ghoulies and things go bump in the night. So seeing these kind of things is relatively horrifying. Her cousin is concerned and wants her to stay out of trouble. And, well, Kerry just wants to get out of town. So, it is one of those developing stories. There's also a whole host of other characters. Some seem friendly, some may not be friendly, depending on how you read their intentions towards you. You can never trust a smiling face, in my opinion. Though, I will not spoil it for people. So, we will push on and see how things develop. Now, as the day goes on, Kerry seems to get pulled into more and more supernatural or questionable decisions by other people in the Hollow. Especially around Stella and her childhood friend Kanika, who are investigating the weird events that are going on and dragging Kerry along for the ride. Kerry doesn't want to come. Like, this is the thing we have to remember about Kerry's personality. She would rather just stay the hell away from all of this, probably drinking strong alcohol in her family mansion. She doesn't want to be stalked by this creepy miner called Wayne, who may or may not have past romantic relationships with her cousin. She didn't want to go into the mine after these children either, but they did pursue them, and, well, you're about to see the unfortunate results of that decision. It did not go as quite as they had hoped, but, well, there seems to be more than just ghouls in the woods, it seems. There's haunted houses and knockers, sound of knocking in the dark. Now, let us see how this part of Kerry's story ends. Strange tablets in the dark, shadowy figures behind her, stalking her, and the mine begins to collapse. Fortunately, both Kerry and her cousin Tabitha managed to get one of the children out, but two of them were left buried in the gloom. As you can imagine, your cousin wasn't particularly impressed by that decision. And as you drop into your into Tabitha's dusty guest bed for the second night in a row, you wonder how the day will play out for you tomorrow. And when you close your eyes, your thoughts drift to Alex and Becca, terrified and alone, if not already dead. But then the morning comes, and you awake. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of sore minds still stuck to your skin. Yes, Kerry didn't really get a chance to have a shower or wash before she went to bed. I think she will take a shower. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and surprisingly enough clean. As steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, you think about the two girls still buried in that horrible mine. Think about Duke and the image of him lying there, slumped against a tree with half his head blown off. Scrub for it feverishly, trying to scrape the memories from your skin as if they're part of the dirt that coats you. Think about Sylvie's warning, the worst is yet to come. Think about Wayne and wonder how many times he's watched you unseen. Think about someone special. Think about finally being out of this hellhole and safely in your own bed. Probably was going to scrub feverishly, trying to scrape the memories from your skin as if they're part of the dirt that coats it. Yes, that's probably something like, because as much as that sounds like Kerry, this also sounds like Kerry. Like, so basically trying to scrape the memories because she doesn't want to remember this stuff, like this horrible stuff that's going on. She just wants to go back to Truro. She just wants to go back to her home city and just like leave this place behind her. Let's go with that one. You scrape feverishly, trying as much to escape the memories, to scrape the memories from your skin as though they're a part of the physical dirt that coats you. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Time to start your day. Yes, let's check on the possum. I will say the possum has become quite a part of the Scarlet Hollow community. There are two of them now. Wave at them. Please get out of my dresser. Pet them. Close the door. Close the drawer. Let's go. Please get out of my dresser. Please get out of my dresser, sighs Carrie. The larger possum hisses. The smaller possum joins in. They bare their many teeth at you in unison, attempting to frighten you away from what is clearly their territory. Wave at them. You wave down at the possums, they look up at you as you close the drawer. You've had enough of the growing family of possums that live in your dresser, at least for the time being. Look out the window. The last time we looked out the window, thought Kerry, we saw a weirdo standing in the woods. You hold your breath and approach the bedroom window. After finding the footprints and the viscera in the garden yesterday, you can't help but anticipate something staring back at you. Yes, yesterday we saw Wayne, or who we didn't realise at the time, but it was Wayne hiding in the undergrowth. And we found out later he was leaking some kind of viscous fluid, which is rather morbid. It's the same view. Turn back to the guest room. Check the closet. Every time you see the doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right? With your keen eyes, you can tell it hasn't moved. You wouldn't put it past it, you mutter. That's enough the closet. Turn back to the guest room. Message group chat with Stella and Kanika. Text Stella. Text Kanika. Yeah, I mean... Actually, to be honest, at this stage, very likely Kerry just wants to stay away from the two of them. Enough weirdness is going on, so she's probably going to ghost both of them. She's going to head downstairs. You've done everything you've wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. You're into the kitchen to find your cousin in the middle of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Tab's gaze swirls from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. So let's see. Let's go addressing the right woman. Your cousin did mention that there was someone coming over, but let's just do with hello. You in tone. Good morning, I'm Jenny. Just here to do my little weekly cleaning. Whatever cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least, mutters the woman. I could have this place looking brand new, you know, says Jenny. Don't go making any big renovations, mutters Tabitha, or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Okie dokie. It's so nice to finally meet you, Carrie. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped into the diner. Jenny, sighs Tabitha. But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are two completely different things, I suppose, continues the woman. It's... Thanks. Let's go with thanks. Thanks, you start? All I'm trying to say is that it's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy part of the family is here to meet Miss Tabitha with everything that's... Sorry, let's start again. All I'm trying to say is that it's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy part of the family is here to meet Miss Tabitha, what with everything that's... I'd probably put a comma in there if that was me. Jenny, mutters Tabitha. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? Says the woman. Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. Oh, are you having ice cream for breakfast? Let's go over. Are we having ice cream for breakfast? Let's go with that. Are we having ice cream for breakfast, you say? I have no sass. I'll have no sass from you today, says Tabitha. 2 kids were buried in a mine collapse on my property. So I'm under a lot of pressure, I'm under a lot of stress right now, in case you hadn't put that together, mutters your cousin. And there's no we here. This stuff is way too hard to get hold of for me to share. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with a trademark scowl. Let's go. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible wound up happening. So you're coming with me. Let's get going. Let's go with Street Lie. I'll be out there in a couple of minutes. Just got to wrap up my morning routine. I'll be out in a couple of minutes. I feel like Sid from last night, and I still have to wrap up my morning routine. Given your track record, if I let you out of my sight, you'll probably just disappear into the wilderness, only to return in the middle of the night after burning down City Hall, mutters your cousin. Jenny, says Tabitha, lock up when you leave, please, and don't go rearranging anything, I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Jenny approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Kerry, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for those poor kids, says Jenny. I can't imagine how scared they must be. Yeah, let's go with Keen Eye. You only come in once a week, right? Says Carrie. What do you do the rest of your time? Oh, odd jobs mostly. Weeding gardens, cleaning houses, watching kids, that sort of thing. My husband's the pastor, says the woman, so a lot of my time's spent at the church and doing things for the community. Poor Daniel. He's been going absolutely stir crazy since we moved here. What with nobody really attending sermons. It'll probably do him a lot of good to talk you through your worries. Let's see, what options would they pick? Would Kerry pick? Well, I don't see Kerry as really a religious person, to be honest. I'm not Christian, but thanks for the offer. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. I'd rather not, she says. Oh, take your time, of course. We have all week after all. Just know that you can stop by the church any time. The door is always open. Let's see, what would she pick? Man, there's a lot of options. We could go explore. You should get out of town. I'd love to chat, but I'd hate to... Yeah, the thing is that Kerry doesn't care about people in this town, so she's not going to warn people to get out. Street Smarts, I'd love to chat, but I hate to interrupt your work. I'm in town for a few days, though, if you've got time. Sorry, Tabitha, so mean to you, she's not going to say that. Seen any weird creatures around town? Do you know anything about the guy named Wayne? Have you seen anyone prowling around the estate? It's nice meeting you, but I've got to bounce. Tabitha's foot tapping drives me insane. Bye. I said go. Let's go with... I'd love to chat, but I'd hate... Yeah, she's going to basically just, like, lie. I'd love to chat, but I'd hate to interrupt your work. I'm in town for a few days, though, if you've got time. Yeah, she's going to basically smarmy and be two-faced. Of course, like I said, I feel free to swing by the church any old time. Alright, mutters Tabitha, let's go. Bye, Jenny. Be safe out there, you two, says the woman. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and into her car. The ride down to town is uneventful, your cousin unsurprisingly more focused on the road than on making conversation. Alright, mutters Tabitha. We're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. Yeah, let's go explore. What are we doing in the general store? Picking up tea from Silby, says Tabitha. Street Smarts teas. Oh, I've got it. Oh, I got it. Picking up tea. Let's go with that one. With teasing, yeah. Oh, I gotcha. We're picking up tea. Yeah, picking up tea. Why are you saying it all weird? Oh yeah, let's look. Tea is slang for drugs here, yeah? I get what you're putting down. Yeah, let's do that one. Tea is slang for drugs here, yeah? I get what you're putting down. Let's go with that one. Tea is slang for drugs, yeah? I get what you're putting down. Did you think I was taking you to I love the dialogue game. Did you think I was taking you with me to buy drugs, says Tabitha? I'm picking up a normal tea for drinking. But technically, tea is a narcotic because of caffeine, which has addictive qualities. So we are. Let's go wink. Sure we are. Yeah. Let's go with. Let's go with just wink. Sure we are. Let's go with that one. You wink at your cousin. Her face tightens into an all-too-familiar scowl. Right here. Let's go. Yeah, this is probably the one that Carrie would pick. After everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand, you mutter. Exactly, says Tabitha before she's interrupted. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him, keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Other people and their drama. If more people kept thinking things to themselves, they'll be a lot happier, mutters Tabitha. Let's go with... man, there's so many options. Let's go with one of our perks, though I tend to pick the perks. Out of curiosity, what you call yourself? Would you call yourself happy? What are you burying? Let's go with... I'm surprised to see her let loose like that. No, let's go with this one. I'm glad she's finally letting loose. Maybe her family will stop taking advantage of her. Let's go with that one. I'm glad she's finally letting loose. She's been so measured since I've met her. Maybe her family will finally stop taking advantage of her. Her family is taking advantage of her because she lets them, not because she's normally measured and composed. A display like that means nothing if she's still here next year, and yet again the year after that. If anything, it just tightens the ties that bind her here, mutters Tabitha. Let's go with... Let's go with street smarts again, yeah. I think you're only saying that because you want to leave. Yeah, I don't know. Man, there's so many options. Let's go with that one, probably, yeah. I think you're only saying that because you want to leave, so why are you still here? You mutter back. Haven't we been over this already? I have responsibilities, says Tabitha. If I'm not here, if I don't do my job, all of these lies are effectively over. We are burning daylight, come on already, she mutters. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two, says Sylvie. You're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course, says Sylvie. Kerry, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. Street smart. I can't believe you tried to tell me you weren't here to buy drugs. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. I can't believe you actually tried to tell me you weren't here to buy drugs. You say. Oh, she most certainly is. Don't you know that there's been no better place in Scarlet Hollow to stuck up on the devil's lettuce than my little old tea shop, says Sylvie. What? I'm not some kind of stoner, says Tabitha. You know what? It doesn't matter. Think what you will. I'm just pulling your leg, dear, chuckles Sylvie. Sylvie motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tingle of bells. Street smarts, yeah. Let's listen in. You find a subtle spot near the door and listen in. I know it took a little longer than you'd hoped, but this was fairly short notice, says Sylvie through the crack in the door. In the future, please give me at least 2 months to gather what's needed. These plants aren't exactly easy to come by. Is there enough? Mutters Tabitha. Yes, everything should go just fine. Make sure this is all it eats for a few days, and I mean all, says Sylvie. Put it somewhere that it can't get other food. I'm not keeping it inside, says Tabitha. Outside then, as said, something enclosed. And please call me if you get confused. Don't assume you know what you're doing. You only have one shot at this, remember that. Paulina ran me through it plenty of times. I know what I'm... Your listening session is halted as the tinkling of bells announces another patron. I wonder what is being hidden from you. Excuse me? Wait, you're Kerry, aren't you? Says the burly man. My name's Beau. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Mrs. Frost falsely called me on the phone and told me you saw what happened to my dad. Remember, like, that Duke was killed, but, like, we completely denied knowing what was happening, but this our lies are coming undone. Folks don't seem to care that your dad is dead, do they? You say. Oh, the folks have been coming by. My mom and me have been getting visitors, but it'd be awfully helpful if I could get his body out of the woods, says Beau. Give us both some peace of mind. We could have a proper funeral. Mama's pretty broken up about it. I'm trying to hold it together since I'm the man of the house now, but it ain't easy. Me and him were supposed to bring Big Betty to the state fair this week. But now he's gone, and as of this morning, so is she. So I suppose if I'm not going to the fair, I might as well make myself useful and get out into the woods to look for what's left of my daddy. You were there, right? Could you tell me where to look so I can try and find him? Let's go. It's dangerous up there. I wouldn't go poking around. It's dangerous up there. I wouldn't go poking around, you say. I ain't a stranger to what's in those hills has to offer. Daddy always said I wouldn't have nothing to fear as long as I learned how to use my fists, so he taught me how to do it all. Those woods might still get scary sometimes, but I reckon there's no better way to show my daddy I've learned those lessons than to go out there and find him. Is Big Betty one of your chickens? Nah, she ain't a chicken. Big Betty is a prize pumpkin. She was a big lady too. I'd expect she was at least 2,000 pounds. Not easy to move something like that. Could she be rolled off down the hill? But I can't be looking for her just yet. What with everything else going on. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're the things that have been stealing your chickens. Yeah, let's go with that one. Your dad was killed by ditchlings. They're the monsters that show up when something bad is going to happen. They're the things that have been stealing your chickens. Mrs. Fossley said something like on the phone, I ain't never heard of ditchlings before, but whatever they are, they won't stop me from trying to find him. Have you seen anything strange? Yeah, have you seen anything strange on the farm in the past couple of days? Not really, no, but I've been awfully busy with everything that's still been happening. Them chickens keep disappearing though. Let's go. If he died on northeast edge of town, off the Asian Asagana Trail, let's go with that one. I mean, Carrie's self-centered, but the thing is that it's like she would deny it if he'd cut, but she would deny it if confronted. But the thing is that he knows that this has gone down, so there's no point trying to keep up the facade and get someone else to be turned against us. So she's probably just got to try and play him off and try and keep him on side. He died on northeast edge of town, off the Asagana Trail. Thanks, Carrie. I appreciate you trying to help us out. I don't rest easy knowing he's out there somewhere all by his lonesome. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. Tabitha and Sylvia are still in the tea room. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house because we are going to Reese's. We are going to Reese's for dinner, if you recall. Go off to Kinika, swing by Stella's, check in on Oscar, go out to the Avery and see it. Go to the diner and see Avery. Let's go. Hey Miles, where's your sister? How should I know? I'm not her babysitter. Be honest, Carrie doesn't really care about anybody in town. Like, she doesn't care really about Avery. She's probably just going to wait for Tabitha. Your cousin will probably be back in a second. It's best just to stay put. You and Miles share an uncomfortable long moment of silence as Bo continues to sob. How are the dailies going? Miles isn't signify your question with an answer. Let's go with this one. You and Kanika don't seem to get along, huh? Miles looks up from his phone, rolling his eyes. So, just because she's family doesn't mean we have to be best friends. I wish he would just go back to school already. Miles returns to his phone. Tabitha bursts out of the tea room, tucking a pouch of herbs into her coat as she walks. She looks up at you in surprise. Street smart. She generally didn't expect you to stay. Whoa, you actually stayed? I kind of expected you to go running off the instant I left you alone. And miss out on cousin bonding time? I'm too scared of you to do that. I see what happens when I go off and do things on my own. Family's important. I'm not just going to ditch you. No one in town interests me. Why would I bother with them? Let's go with. I see what happens when I go off and do things on my own. Let's go with that. I've seen what happens when I go off and do things on my own. Good. I'm glad to see that you finally learnt your lesson. I've got a couple of hours to spare. I'll pick us up some sodas and then we can go get out of here. I don't like lingering where just anyone could walk in and start talking to me. Tabitha leaves the store, motioning to you to follow. And you do. Tabitha stops in front of a small house on the quiet hill just off Main Street. The Scarlets own most of the houses out here. We rent them out to employees. Just more convenient, you know. Why can't we hang out in someplace normal? Why can't we hang out someplace normal, cool? And here I thought your estate was your secret lair. That seems sinister. Let's go with... And here I thought the estate was your secret lair, yeah. And here I thought the estate was your secret lair. The estate isn't my non-secret lair. Everyone knows I live there, says Tabitha. Now come on, let's get ourselves scarce before we're spotted. Your cousin pulls out a heavy set of keys from her pocket. She picks out one marked with a bright strip of green tape and unlocks the door. Come on in. Don't worry, it's empty. You follow your cousin into the model home. We haven't rented this one out for years. I came here to get away from it all. Does that make sense? It's kind of like vacation home, but I don't have to travel. Anyway, make yourself comfortable and have a soda. Tabitha holds you a cream soda before sitting in one of the couches. Keen-Eye, this place clearly gets cleaned regularly, but it doesn't feel like a real home. It feels like a set piece, like you both wandering into a play, and if you were to look at the walls from another angle, you'd see them as two-dimensional illusions they are. And it's a lot of exploration item options, but let's see them, because I haven't seen them before. Talk about Tabitha. Keen-Eye, yeah. Is the estate stifling to you? Is that why you come here? And you say as you take a swill of soda. Tabitha sips her soda, her expression suddenly heavy. I guess the estate has a lot of history, your cousin mutters. This place is so new by comparison. It's like the estate is full of ghosts, pressing down on me all the time, pressuring me to do what they want. When I'm here, I can imagine a life where I don't have to think about the 200 years of history resting on my shoulders. I can imagine just living as a bank teller or something, having a simple life. Wait, why am I telling you this? Stop asking all these deep questions. It's not like you care anyway. I like knowing people's dark secrets. Let's go with that guy. I like knowing people's dark secrets, you say. I knew it, said Tabitha. Well, you'll have to try a lot harder than that if you want my secrets. Can we try some of the tea you picked up? Smells nice. Nope, it's a sleep time tea. You don't want to drink it in the middle of the day. So what's he say? Whoever or whatever's just giving it to, it's meant to put them to sleep then. 1 second, folk. Sorry about that, folks. Do you ever get to travel? I saw your blowing rock mug. My what? Oh, that must be one of Jenny's. She's always saying we don't have enough cups. There are 3 cups, that's plenty. 1 for me, 1 for Paulina, and 1 for the occasional guest. But Jenny said her husband had a ton of dumb little souvenir mugs from his travels. Not by... she just tells me stuff about her family, mutters Tabitha. Anyways, she said they have mugs to spare, so if I needed a charity, I guess he must have snuck a few in under my nose. I'll have to remember to toss it when we get back. Anyways, to answer your question, no, I don't travel, too much to do. So I'd like to see the Outer Banks one day, but I'm the head of the company. It's not like anyone can cover for me. You live in a massive mansion, but you only have 3 cups? Why does everyone get hung up on that? It's not like the Scarlets don't own more dishware. They're not going to use the fine china to drink Pepsi. And we technically have 4 glasses, but one of them is used for the silverware. So there, we have more than 3. Jenny seems like a busybody. Right, says Tabitha. I only hire her to clean, but she keeps insisting on talking to me and micromanaging the way I run the household. The number of cups we have is none of her business. I definitely don't need to know about what her family did over the weekend, or what cute thing her kid said, or how much she loves her wet napkin of a husband. Yeah, I think that's probably the one that's going to raise the eyebrow the most. You've never left Scarlet Hollow? You act like it's weird. Travelling is difficult and stressful. I've seen vacation movies. Something always goes wrong. So even if I had a day off, why would I want to spend it driving somewhere when I could spend it actually relaxing? I don't need to see some windy rock or even the beach. It's just not worth it, mutters Tabitha as he takes a swig of her soda. Do you actually like living here? Like I said, it's the only thing I know, mutters your cousin. You don't need to have to live somewhere. You don't need to have lived somewhere else to know if you like living it. Sorry, you don't need to have lived somewhere else to know if you like it here. You do, actually. Everything in life requires a context to properly understand, mutters your cousin. And I don't have context here. You don't need context to know if you're living somewhere. But you don't need context to know if you like living somewhere. Are you... Let's go with the... Let's go with that. You don't need context to know if you like living somewhere. Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy, says Tabitha. Why wouldn't I be? You actually like running the mine, even, says Kerry. It's a job, an important job. I've had years of Pralina drilling that into my head. Things are bad everywhere. It probably isn't much worse than it is out there. Who cares if the town falls to ruin? Why is that your responsibility? Let's go with that one. Who cares if the town falls to ruin? Why is it that your responsibility? It's my responsibility because that's the way the chips fell. If you're trying to say that it's not fair that the town is my responsibility, sure, that's not inaccurate. But life doesn't care about fairness. If I were to just leave and the town collapsed without me, wouldn't that be unfair to everyone who came to depend on our family? You gave this a lot of thought, haven't you? You're right, a lot of people live here, they can figure things out without you. Isn't it a bit egotistical to think that this place can't make it without you? If an entire community depends on a single person to survive, maybe that community shouldn't exist. Let's go with that one. If an entire community depends on a single person to survive, maybe that community shouldn't exist, mutters Carrie. You know that's bullshit, says Tabitha. Tabitha quietly takes another sip of her soda. The thing is, Carrie's trying to get... Carrie doesn't really care about cousin, but she's trying to play nice, considering that, all the dark stuff that's going on at the moment, but, Carrie's a selfish person. She doesn't care if the town fails. She doesn't care, really, about anybody in the town. And she's trying to convince Tabitha to see it from her point of view. Man, that's a lot of text options. I thought we were going through some. Whew. Talk about your family. Let's go with street smarts, yeah. I took a peek into the older part of the estate. Our family used to be a lot bigger. You what? Unbelievable. I specifically told you not to go in there. Does the word danger mean nothing to you? Actually, I take it back. I very much believe you went in there. Actually, I take that back. I very much believe you went in there. You constantly do things that you shouldn't. But I disagree. There used to be... Sorry, I digress. There used to be a lot more Scarlets, but now it's just us. What was Pralina like? Tabitha just glares at you as she drinks. Okay, I guess you should know at least some things about the woman whose funeral you'll be attending. She was my mother. She was your mother's twin sister, fraternal. They didn't look alike. Same with personalities, night and day from what I've heard. Paulina was a hard ass, but that comes with the territory. I mean, what else do you want to know? How did she die? Sleep apnea, says Tabitha. That means she basically couldn't get to sleep. Wait. Okay, something strange is going on because Tabitha's buying drugs to make people go to sleep, and there's someone, and her mother died of not being able to go to sleep. Whoa, okay. You get along at all? What do you think, says Tabitha? I get the feeling that the two of them didn't get along. What was your dad like? Don't know, he just up and left one day. Didn't want anything to do with us anymore, I guess. They never got divorced or separated. He probably couldn't be bothered to fill out any paperwork, especially considering he would lose any and all claims to the Scarlet Fortune if they divorced. And he'd have to pay child support for a kid he couldn't be bothered to call on. He couldn't be bothered to call on his birthday. Hooray, another member of the Deadbeat Dads Club. You say. Stop it. Stop making that stupid club joke. It's Tabitha. Whatever. The Scarlet women are just too strong for most men. Our mums were better off without them, I'm sure. Let's go with... Talk about your relationship, yeah. Let's go with... I can't believe we are actually hanging out. Let's go with that one. I can't believe we're actually hanging out. Isn't that why you came all the way down here from Truro? Let's go with this one. What kind of things did Paulina tell you about me and my mum? Sort of thing you'd probably expect. A lot of it wasn't necessarily wrong either. Yeah, let's see. Like, Carrie's gonna push that button. What do you really think of me, says Carrie, as they see exchanges looks with her cousin? Do you really want to know? I don't mince words. Hit me with it. If that's what you want. You push my buttons, it's like you exist to antagonize me. I don't even know why I look like I took you here. You're kind of an asshole. Are you really related? You're a better person than you let on. I'm glad I came up here. Let's go with kind of an asshole. Let's go with that. Takes one to know one, says Tabitha. Ah yes, dysfunctional family unity. Ask about the people in town. This is the thing, like, at this point, like, it's the third day, Kerry's, like, tried to be nice and polite. Well, not nice polite, but she's tried to basically stay on her cousin's good side. But at this point, like, it's probably going, yeah, I've got people trapped in a mine underground. It's gone past the point of no return. I'm supposed to have dinner at Reese's place. Do you know him? Reese, says Tabitha. Oh yeah, the dude that used to hang out with Kanika and Stella. I kind of remember him. Quiet, gave off a weird vibe, stopped coming to school at one point. I guess he got sick or something. I know his mum better than I know him. She's been everybody's doctor for as long as I can remember. She's intimidating. I've always liked her. Guess that's not hereditary though. Reese always seemed like a bit of a wet blanket to me. I know I've already asked. Let's go with that one. I know I've already asked, but can you tell me what the deal is with you and Stella now that we're hanging out? Oh no, not this again, says Tabitha. But fine, we were close in high school. Really, really close. Potential past relationship. We have sleepovers a few nights a week, spend a night watching monster movies and eating chips, and... Anyway, Paulina didn't like her. I'd always have to lie and say I was going over to her place to study. When we graduated, it was impossible to see her anymore. There was no more excuses to go study, and I was too busy learning the ropes at the mine. Paulina made sure my every waking moment was occupied. I didn't have time for friends. But I never needed friends before meeting Stella, so it was easy enough to slip back into that mindset and try to move on. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with that one. The thing is, like, Carrie doesn't really care, but like, she does love pushing her cousin's buttons. Are you afraid you still have feelings for her? What else would you work so hard to keep her from arm's length, you mutter? I just don't need the distraction, says Tabitha. Let's go with... The thing with Kerry is that, like, probably at this point, Kerry's like, yeah, I'm in over my head. Like, we're going with the darkest timeline. With Kanika... No, because he didn't care about anything. What do you think of Oscar? Yeah. I think he's doing a bad job raising his kid. Take last night, for instance. She was way too much freedom. What do you expect from someone who had a surprise baby at 19? Plus, I have my own library, not that I have time to read anymore. What do you think of Avery? Who? Avery worked at the diner, wears plant certs. I have no idea who you're talking about. She's smart, she has no idea who you're talking about. Okay, now this comes to the hard bit, because this is the point where basically... This comes to the point where Kerry is probably going to go, like, what the hell is going on with Wade? Like, come on, like, look. I want to know. No one else is here. I want to know. So the thing is, she takes her own personal well-being really seriously, so she wants to know. What's going on with Wayne? He's been following me. I think there's something wrong with him. Wayne? As in Sam Wayne? I don't know who you think is following you, but it can't be him. Sam Wayne wasn't a creep. I'd rather not talk about it. Tabitha, the man is stalking me. Let's go with that. It's fine. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. As far as I'm concerned, this conversation is over. Don't want to hear that name again. Ooh. Yeah, she doesn't really like... Carrie doesn't particularly like Kanika, so she doesn't care. Let's go, you know Sylvie well. Everyone in town knows her. Why did you hire Jenny anyway? Paulina hired Jenny. She was my babysitter before she started cleaning the estate. Do you want me to try and get you in with Kanika? The police are really on my ass. Let's go with that. The police are really on my ass. Yeah, I wouldn't really worry about them. Our family is the law around these parts. So you should do your best to stay on my good side. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with Kanika one. I know that we're going for the darkest timeline, but I haven't seen this dialogue before, so let's try it out. Do you want me to try and get you in with Kanika? Please, if she's anything like me, she would only make her hate me. If she's anything like me, that would only make her hate me more. I have dignity, Carrie. Yeah. Carrie isn't going to mention the ghost hunting. Don't you have somewhere to be? You probably have to get back to the mine soon, right? Thanks for taking me out. Let's go with, don't you have somewhere to be? Let's go with that. Your phone buzzes before Tabitha has a chance to respond. Oh my god, I overslept. Text Stella. Almost forgot it's Mayor Jimmy Day. Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar and Rosalina. Meet you all there in half an hour. Kanika pipes up on the chat line. I totally blanked out. I totally blanked on that. Been having a weird, foggy morning. Wild that they're still doing the Mayor Jimmy thing even after last night. Do you think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should go see Oscar. See you all soon. Somebody's popular, says Tabitha. Why is everyone so jazzed about meeting the mayor, you mutter. It's Mayor Jimmy's day again already. What a ridiculous event, says Tabitha. You know he's a dog, right? Did they fill you in on that little detail? We haven't had a human mayor in Scarlet Hollow since at least the early 1900s. We've been a dog mayor town since then. Tabitha takes another sip of her soda, smirking. Everyone knows it's our family that holds the power in this town. Still, sounds like it could be fun even. Even I can admit it's funny watching someone fawn over the little guy in his mayor getup. And if Stella's going to be there, yeah, count me in. We can finish our sodas and head over. Got the achievement. I can fix her. I don't know how this is going to end, folks. I am not going to lie. Like, it's not really like Carrie having a bonding moment with her cousin. It's just that Carrie doesn't really care about anybody else in town. And Tabitha's the best way of making sure that whatever inheritance she has coming is still coming to her. So she's probably going to try and stay on Tabitha's side, even though she keeps pissing her off. How do I look? It's been a while since I've been out in public like this. Keen eye. Out the corner of our eye, you can see a furious woman making a beeline to you and Tabitha. Tabitha. Someone's coming. Let's go with that. What? Excuse me, Miss Scarlet, says the angry woman. Can I help you? Becca's mum. What the hell do you think you're doing down here grinning like a buffoon while my Becca's trapped in your mine? What exactly are you doing to try and dig her out? I don't see you lifting any rocks. What? I've got my guys working around the clock to get her out of there. I don't see what me running a couple of errands in the morning has to do with... I don't want to hear it. You should be up there right along with them. It's your damned fault you even managed to get in there. Why wasn't the entrance more secure? You were asking for something like this to happen. Whatever happens, I will be pressing charges. Do you want involuntary manslaughter to be one of them, or do you want to get your ass moving? Let's go with, hey, she's been doing everything she can, lay off. It's Becca's fault she got stuck in there, not Tabitha's. Your daughter is trash, ma'am. Let's go with your daughter is trash, ma'am. Yeah, like, the thing is, Carrie's a selfish person, but the thing is that, like, yeah, that's Carrie just has had enough. Your daughter is trash, ma'am. Excuse me, my daughter's buried alive, or worse. How dare you say that language to talk about my Becca? What legal grounds do you have to? What legal grounds do you think you even have? There were signs, the place was boarded up, I did my legal duty, and you don't have a leg to stand on, so don't try to threaten me. I'll find a lawyer who knows how to nail you for everything you've got your worth, mark my words. Those children, those are children in there. How can you be concerned with anything but their well-being, you heartless cow? If anything at all has happened to my baby in there, you better be scared as hell for what's going to happen to you and your precious family business. Scarlets have set up this big comfy cast for too long. It's time someone took you people down for the reckless way you run this place. The woman storms off just as quickly as she stormed in. God damn it. She's right, mutters Tabitha. I can't just hang out around town the day after something like that. It doesn't look right. I should be up there, even if it's just to oversee what's going on. If I'm supposed to run this place, I've got to get my head in the game. I can't slip up like this again. Tabitha sighs, straightening up, her scowl returns. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you after work tonight. Your cousin turns and heads back to the car, leaving you alone on the main street. Yes. Ooh. We'll see what happens. Yeah, and that's definitely aiming more towards the darkest timeline. I don't think I don't think Kerry would have said "ma'am." I think he just would have said your daughter was trash, which would have probably not have gone down well with the woman. But I definitely don't think Kerry would have added "ma'am" onto the end of it. He doesn't respect her at all. This is interesting. I definitely think going down this way is interesting. I know I asked questions, but the thing is that this is, like as I said, we're going into this playthrough without any sort of prior checking of events, so I did want to get some sort of information. The thing is, Kerry would likely be interested. She wants to know about this side of the family. She's self-interested in more her well-being, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So Kerry wants to know what's going on. She wants to know why all this is happening, and she probably wants to see if she can get out of it alive. She doesn't care about the town. She doesn't care about the people in it. And she's only really placating her cousin because, well, she's the other person at the end of the will at the end of the day. So we'll see how this turns out. This has been Scarlet Hollow, the darkest timeline, and we shall continue to play through on Thursday, folks. Goodbye.